The vet tech said, "This isn't your dog. The microchip is registered to another family." I stood there holding Biscuit's leash, feeling like the floor had dropped out from under me. Biscuit was my golden retriever. I'd had him for 4 years. I adopted him from a shelter when he was 2, and he'd been my best friend through a brutal divorce, a complete career change, and 3 exhausting apartment moves across the city. "That's completely impossible," I stammered. "I have all his adoption papers at home in a folder." The tech looked deeply uncomfortable. "Ma'am, the chip clearly says this dog belongs to someone named Patricia Wellborn in Cedar Falls. It was registered 6 years ago." I explained desperately that I adopted Biscuit from Happy Tails Rescue 4 years ago. They explicitly told me he was a stray found wandering with absolutely no history or previous owners. The tech excused herself looking worried and came back moments later with the senior veterinarian. They scanned Biscuit again together. Same exact result. The vet asked gently if I wanted them to contact the registered owner on my behalf. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. "No, not yet. I need to figure this out first on my own." I drove home in a complete daze with Biscuit's head resting on my lap like always. That night I couldn't sleep at all. I kept staring at him curled up peacefully at the foot of my bed, wondering if someone out there was still desperately missing him after all these years. The next morning I did something I probably shouldn't have done. I looked up Patricia Wellborn in Cedar Falls online. She was only 2 hours away from me. I found her Facebook profile after some searching and my heart completely stopped. Her cover photo was Biscuit. Younger and smaller, but definitely unmistakably him. The caption underneath said, "Forever missing my sweet boy Butterscotch. Stolen from our backyard June 2019. Stolen. Not lost or wandered off. Stolen. Someone had taken him deliberately." I scrolled through years of heartbreaking posts with tears forming. Missing dog flyers posted everywhere. Reward offers that climbed desperately from $500 to $5,000 over time. Constant updates begging for any information from anyone. The most recent post was from just 6 months ago. "5 years without you, baby. I will never stop looking for you." I sat down on my kitchen floor and sobbed uncontrollably while Biscuit licked my tears, not understanding at all why I was so upset. He just kept wagging his tail trying to comfort me. I had 2 impossible choices in front of me. Keep quiet and live with crushing guilt forever knowing I'd stolen someone's happiness, or do the right thing and lose my best friend permanently. It took me 3 agonizing days to finally make the call. Patricia answered on the second ring sounding tired. When I told her I believed I had her dog, she started crying so hard she physically couldn't speak anymore. Her husband eventually took the phone from her. They drove the full 2 hours that exact same day without hesitation. When Patricia walked into my apartment, Biscuit went absolutely insane with joy. He knocked her completely down and covered her entire face in desperate kisses while she sobbed his real name over and over again. Butterscotch. He remembered her after everything. 4 years living with me, and he still remembered her instantly. I was crying too watching them reunite. Her husband explained what had happened through his own tears. Their neighbor's teenage son had stolen Butterscotch from their backyard to sell for drug money. They only found out the truth years later when the kid finally confessed everything to his parents out of guilt. But by then, the dog had apparently been sold 3 separate times, and the trail went completely cold. Happy Tails Rescue had absolutely no idea they'd innocently received a stolen dog. Patricia looked at me with tears streaming down her grateful face. "I cannot thank you enough for calling me. Most people in your position would have just kept him and never said anything." I nodded and said I simply couldn't keep him knowing someone out there was hurting and searching like she had been. She asked about my life with him over the years. I showed her hundreds of photos, told her funny stories, described all his favorite toys and treats in detail. She listened to absolutely everything like she was memorizing each word. Then she did something I never could have expected. "Would you possibly want to share him with us?" I didn't understand what she meant at first. She explained that Butterscotch clearly loved me too. She could see it plainly in how he kept looking back at me with concern, even while greeting her so excitedly. She said she couldn't bear to tear apart another loving bond after everything. We worked out an arrangement together. She takes him for 2 weeks, then I get him for 2 weeks. We text each other pictures constantly throughout each day. Last month we actually spent Thanksgiving together. Her whole family, me, and one very spoiled golden retriever who now has 2 homes and 2 families who love him completely.